Welcome to my channel. Today we dive into the war between nuclear-armed Iran and Israel. Under the sapphire cloak of night, the stillness shattered. In Tehran, the earth trembled as hundreds of warplanes carved paths through the sky. A covert command whispered through the dark, Operation Rising Lion. Born not from whim but from years of planning and hidden intelligence, it was time to strike at the heart of the long-feared nuclear threat. The mission unfolded in multiple waves: elite F-35 pilots breaching Iranian airspace, precision drones disabling radars and missile batteries, and Mossad's long-prepared ground teams silently eliminating key commanders. The world watched, breath held, as explosions bloomed among Iran's nuclear sites, Natanz, Fordow, and inside cities where scientists once walked. A pyramid of detonations rang out, a symphony of strategic strikes. General Hossein Salami of the IRGC, Chief of Staff Mohammad Bagheri, and leading nuclear scientists vanished in mere moments, their absence curdling the night air. In a broadcast, Prime Minister Netanyahu's voice carried over the static, cryptic yet resonant: "We strike not to humiliate, but to survive. This operation will continue as long as necessary." The name Rising Lion, ancient, prophetic, echoed history and resolve, a roar born of survival and warning. But war replies to action. Before Israel finished its evening, Iran's sky erupted. From its heart, more than 150 ballistic missiles surged upward, over 100 drones swooped toward civilian cities. Sirens unleashed panic in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, summoning frightened families into shelters. Yet Israel's defenses, like a woven net of steel and code, held firm. Iron Dome batteries and allied U.S. systems swept the skies, each missile falling harmlessly away. Still, the human cost revealed itself. Cracked windows, trembling hearts, frightened breath. At least 5 were wounded. The region's fault lines cracked under the strain of fear. In Tehran, amidst the dust and concrete ruins, Dr. Layla Azadi, physicist and cautious patriot, found herself among grieving families. Buildings once deemed safe now lay flattened. Amir, a volunteer medic, guided her to children crying for water. In that moment, the world's rubble became hers, his, irrevocably shared. Far away in Israel, Captain Eitan Cohen, F-35 pilot and soldier bound by order, stared at his visor's reflection. Night missions replayed in his mind, explosions lighting up Iran, targets struck with technical perfection. Yet each successful sortie left behind ripples of guilt, not for the strike, but for its echo in civilian lives. Days later, as diplomats jostled and leaders spoke through microphones, the human stories swirled behind the scenes. In Tehran, protests sprung up: "No more bombs." Amir sketched children clutching doves. His art traveled online, crossing firewalls and borders. In Jerusalem, wives and husbands petitioned politicians for restraint, for a breath of peace. Amidst politicized noise, Layla found an unlikely moment of humanity. In secret corridors above the Syrian border, she spotted an injured Israeli pilot, Captain Cohen, crashing just beyond patrol lines. Memories of destroyed buildings and children's tears had taught her that wounded lives, no matter which flag they bore, deserved mercy. Risking everything she had, Layla smuggled Cohen to a safe house. Amir's medical prowess breathed life into the pilot, while moral chasms closed in the shadow of shared suffering. In whispered exchanges, they compared broken images: the grainy photograph of a collapsed school in Tehran, her video of air raid sirens in Tel Aviv. They made their way toward a UN-controlled corridor near Beirut, a fragile, gray line where diplomacy and desperation met. Alongside negotiators and peacekeepers, they carried proof: footage of destroyed nuclear centrifuges, intercepted missiles, wounded children. All meant to show that neither side won in a war that killed indiscriminately. As the war's tempo slowed, a lull, not a ceasefire, leaders took note. Netanyahu spoke of continued strength, but behind the speeches, Israel's military and U.S. assets weighed readiness. Iran's Ayatollah fulminated rage, but his generals quailed beneath images of domestic unrest. Amir's artwork, captions pleading, "We are not enemies," rippled through Iranian television. A rare decision emerged, missile launches halted. Iran's propaganda softened, shifts of tone washing over state media like water over stone. A message replacing menace, a human pause. In Tel Aviv, mornings came with silence once more. Captain Cohen returned to his home where Maya waited, eyes brimming with relief and unshed tears. Across the border, Layla looked at her reflection, scientist, mother, witness. Amir walked the ruined streets, placing his sketches beside smoldering rubble, a testament to hope. One evening, beneath olive trees in a public park, Cohen and Layla met. He carried a small painting, Amir's portrait of his wife, Maya. She held a vial of soil from beneath the Natanz ruins. They looked at each other, two people stitched together by a shared nightmare. "No rational war can endure," Cohen whispered. Layla nodded, her tears reflecting the Mediterranean twilight. They parted, he to Tel Aviv's warm lights, she to Tehran's wounded hearts. Behind them lay the broken paths of conflict. Before them, an uncertain peace born not of treaties, but of fragile empathy. The lion's roar had been loud, and the shadows deep. But from silence and shared grief, a seed emerged, a promise that one day, stories might be told not of bombs, but of broken hands finding each other in the dark.